Welcome to Rocky Top, Knoxville, Tennessee. Today we've got action from the SEC as the Kentucky Wildcats meet the 19th ranked Tennessee Volunteers. The conference standings, Vols have an opportunity to move up. The Cats trying to finish their season strong. And welcome Thompson Bowling Arena. Ian Eagle along with Jim Spinarkle and a young Peyton Manning. We've got everybody here in Knoxville today. Jimmy, 2 weeks ago these two teams played. Tennessee ran away with it in the second half. Right. Kentucky's played much better since then. Tennessee believes they are a better team than they were a couple of weeks ago as well.
Yeah, I think both of them do believe that, because over the last 3 or 4 games, Ian, they've really up-tempoed their offense, so they're playing at a much faster pace. The key there is not to turn the basketball over when you're going up and down, but keep in mind, both inside and outside, I'm expecting a very physical game this afternoon. All
right, let's check out our fast analysis presented by AT&T 5G.
Yeah, and it starts with the physical defense by Tennessee. On-the-ball defense is very good with always having a help side defender there, but even when they make a mistake, notice the squeeze, the middle of the floor, orange shirts clogging up the middle of the paint. On the other side, the backcourt balance is so important for Kentucky in this one. Mintz and Boston combined for a 3 of 19 shooting in the first game. They must be better this afternoon for Kentucky to have a chance.
John Calipari, Rick Barnes, close relationship. This has really developed into an outstanding rivalry within the conference. Tennessee has gotten the better of Kentucky in recent years. They've won 4 of the last 5. Let's check out the starting lineups for Kentucky. Same 5. Isaiah Jackson has certainly been playing better basketball. We've seen a lift from everybody on Kentucky. And for Tennessee, they're going to stick with this 5. Santiago Vescovi will once again come off the bench. Rick Barnes said he liked what he saw from this group, and he likes Vescovi in that reserve role. Terry Oglesby, Chuck Jones, Jason Baker, our officiating crew here this afternoon. We're underway from Knoxville. Kentucky controls the tip.
Now look for that straight-up man-to-man aggressive defense by Tennessee to start. But keep in mind, as we touched on in the open, both of these teams in the last 3 games have scored over 80 points each per game.
Boston, he's been shooting with confidence of late. That one is in and out. The versatility of this Tennessee roster and the balance really stands out.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the shot clock from time to time, because they will shoot the ball very quickly in their offensive sets, especially on transition.
Victor Bailey Jr. coming off his best game. Fulkerson, no, the follow goes.
Well, that's 2 points more than he scored 2 weeks ago against Kentucky, so a good start for him. Let's see if he can play a little better than he did against Kentucky.
Tennessee coming off a 20-point win over South Carolina on Wednesday night. Bailey had 29 in that game. The floater is good for Davion Askew, the freshman from Sacramento.
And a good understanding, too, because both of these teams do block shots better than most in this country. So in this particular conference, also nice to have that floater in your weapons.
Talented freshmen Keon Johnson and Jaden Springer both put up big numbers in the first meeting against Kentucky 2 weeks ago. Shot clock is winding down. Johnson looking to make it happen. On the dish, Bailey can stroke it. It's a 3.
Yeah, Bailey's a guy who's been playing well. Career high 29 points last time out when they played South Carolina. But prior to that, Ian, he had been really struggling with his shot. So if he can add that dimension to Tennessee's game, it opens up the middle of the floor.
Kentucky, a win at Vanderbilt on Wednesday night, 82-78. They shot just 41% from the field. Olivier Sarr, too strong.
And look at the way they get out. Going to the wings. They'll look for 3-point shots, and they're very good, especially the 2 freshmen attacking along the baseline.
They spread the floor. Springer was looking for a post-up. Johnson couldn't locate him. Here's Johnson on the pull-up pop. Rimming, no. Out of bounds. And last touch by Kentucky. Good battle there by Pons.
So here you see the blue shirts. Where are they? They're all congested in the middle of the floor defensively. No time to react to Bailey, who shoots the ball from long range, about 34%, but has really settled in the last few games. Good hands from behind there by Boston to trigger that defense.
Johnson lost it. Mintz threading the needle, and the layup is good, and a foul Isaiah Jackson running the floor hard and rewarded.
Well, so many good things happening just then defensively for Kentucky, and now all of a sudden we talked about the transition, but look at this. He puts it right on the money, and Jackson has to catch it and deliver at the same time. So it's not an easy catch because you have that traffic around you. There's body action, but then to catch it as a youngster, a freshman, putting it up and delivering it, he's another guy who has really played well for John Calipari's team.
Personal foul on Pons. We asked Calipari about Jackson, and he said what he has noticed later in the season, he's accepting responsibility, watching tape, self-evaluation, and it's really helped his game. Askew had it taken away, and Kentucky gets it back. Now we get a tie-up. These two teams are going to get after it.
Yeah, they really are. And that's a good job by Boston defensively there.
And possession arrow to Tennessee. Stream CBS Sports HQ, the completely free and always on sports news network. Highlights, breaking news, expert picks. Download the CBS Sports app on your phone or connected TV to watch today. So Rick Barnes, what he's noticed from his squad is a little more consistency and feels like they're playing their best when it matters most. He really likes where his team is right now.
And very unselfish play. Good kick there in the middle of the floor just then as Pons, a lefty. There are many lefties on his team. He turns and finishes it from 12 feet away.
Were you a lefty in another life? You love lefties.
I do. I think lefties all look good when they shoot the basketball. They have that little bit of stride to them. Going to go the other way with an offensive foul. And there's the middle of the floor. And he's a little late, but he jumped at the, Jackson did jump at the left hand. A lot of times defenders, Ian, will jump at the right side of a guy's body because they're used to playing a right-handed player most of the time.
Isaiah Jackson called for that foul for Kentucky, so off the turnover. Tennessee with a 7-5 lead. They really took advantage of the South Carolina turnovers the other night to the tune of 25 points. The miss inside by Springer.
Looking to go over the top. Here's another one over the top. Watch the springs here.
Early offense. Jackson can't finish it. It was a good look from Askew.
Here comes the pace. Nice work from behind again. I think that was Jackson who got his hand in.
But Sarr could not hold on to it.
Watch another difficult catch here with his back to the basket. Patience, though, just didn't finish it off. He usually does finish that play, but another good look to get down the middle of the floor. Tennessee will do that also with Fulkerson running straight down to the rim.
So some changes here. Jacob Toppin, who's coming off his best game at Kentucky in the win over Vanderbilt, checks in. He finished with 16 points, made big free throws down the stretch.
12 of those points in the second half, too.
Off the entry.
No place to go there.
Denied, and it's Jackson. He's got the long arm of the law on the inside, and Springer had it blocked out of bounds.
At what point, Ian, does this look like you're going to make an easy layup here? Didn't look so to me right from the beginning. That's when you have to try to kick out. Fortunately, they retain the possession.
Olivier Kamwa has checked in, and now Pons will sit, and Fulkerson will come back in to match up with Sarr.
Watch the middle of the floor again. There it is. They missed it, though. Oh, that's a takedown. They don't call it.
Springer one-on-one with Toppin. Here's Johnson against Boston. Freshman against freshman. Cross. Johnson to the corner. Bailey lets it fly. Rims out on a three.
Even on his misses, he looks confident from the corner.
Mintz rushes it up the floor. Now will step back. Connects a triple.
That's so important for him to really guide this team in a lot of different ways. His floor play, setting up the team. And Mintz has struggled a little bit shooting the ball, but it's confidence that he has.
He has a presence about him. Three ball doesn't go for Bailey. As we mentioned, he shot the lights out the other night, but he's had games where he can't find the rim.
Right, exactly. 5 of 13 on the field goals for 18 the other night, so it's up and down a little bit for him. But watch him at the end of games. He will take a big shot.
An offensive foul called against Kentucky. B.J. Boston making that move. Now we step aside. First time out in this first half. Competitive Kentucky and Tennessee. Second meeting of the season here on CBS. History on the men's and women's side here with Tennessee basketball. Bernard King, Ernie Grunfeld, Dale Ellis, Allen Houston, Candace Parker, Pat Summitt. We could go on and on and on. And Tennessee is back the job that Rick Barnes has done here now in his 6th season, 34th year as a head coach. He acknowledged to us that he didn't really know what to expect game to game from his team. He's starting to see consistency. Some changes now. Davonte Gaines in, Santiago Vescovi in. Working around the perimeter. So that's 2 more lefties for you, Jimmy.
I love it. I love it. Keep them coming. 3 guys drinking their drinks up there who are left-handed, I noticed, too, in the stands.
5 to shoot. Vescovi, kick, jumper, Johnson. He's got it. A 3 with a shot clock down to 1.
And to your point a moment ago, Ian, one of the things that Rick Barnes has said to us was the fact that this team has become more and more unselfish as they've grown. And that was a good example of it in that half-court set in terms of everybody touching it.
Here's Toppin. Boston makes a cut, and he blows the layup.
Yeah, you got to finish that one. Good drive, though, by Boston. Quick, agile, getting to the rim.
Waiting to see if Josiah Jordan-James is going to get any run dealing with a wrist injury. The fact that Davonte Gaines is in might mean we're not going to see James. Vescovi, no. Rebound ripped down by Sarr, and he saves it.
I'm surprised they haven't gotten Sarr a touchdown low yet.
Mintz from deep. 2nd 3 of the day for the grad transfer Davion Mintz.
Maybe they don't have to if he's going to shoot the ball like that.
Kentucky is shooting it at 50%. They have a 1-point lead. Davonte Gaines feeds the post. Fulkerson, who has had big numbers against Kentucky the last couple of years. They fake on the double. Now they send to second. Once again, shot clock winding down for Keon Johnson. Strokes it short, just grazes the rim. And a good save by Keon Brooks.
Yeah, defensively, Kentucky has really started this game looking man-to-man, but really being effective in terms of getting a hand on the ball. Toppin may have gotten a graze on that shot just then.
And there's Toppin on the other end. Much more confident. Jacob Toppin, the transfer from Rhode Island.
I think Mintz sets that tone of confidence, too. He's hit a couple of long shots that you indicated. And then all of a sudden, these other guys, they have a good bounce, Kentucky. Illegal screen this side going the other way.
Tennessee is shooting it at 33% from the field. Kentucky is the one that has cranked up the defense.
Yeah, you see a little bit of a sit back just then, and Mintz reads it very, very well. And then over the top with Toppin, no pun intended there, Ian. 6'9", can shoot over people.
I'm going to say that the pun was very much intended, and the fact that you say no pun intended does not absolve you from the no pun intended rule.
I never thought you'd call me out.
Well, I mean, you drew attention. If you just said nothing, I would have let it go.
I know.
13-10 Kentucky.
Onward we go.
Devin Askew. It's not even March yet, Jimmy.
Give it time.
Askew matched up with Vescovi.
There's that little help out front.
But that frees up Keon Brooks Jr. and it rattles in on a 3-ball, 8-0 run.
He had a monster game against Tennessee that first time out with career highs. So let's see, good matchup maybe for him against Tennessee.
Kentucky opens up a 6-point lead. Springer, nice look. Pons misses on the short one. Rebound controlled by Kentucky. Dante Allen in the game for the Wildcats.
Notice the way Kentucky slides to the middle of the floor. When the ball goes to the one of the power sides, watch the opposite side. They start to slide in and cheat a little bit, which is good, smart defense. It's like a half a zone.
Toppin lost it, recovered.
Oh, watch out. Oh!
Jackson could not finish it, and he goes down hard. 5-on-4, Vescovi the Euro. Inside Gaines, no.
Jackson's got one down the other end, though.
But he's banged up. He can still go up and lay it in, but he doesn't have the lift right now, and his gait is affected coming down the other way.
Yeah, and I noticed him just then pointing over to the bench, too. Whether or not they recognized it, but it looks like he's going to shake that off and stay right in the middle of the floor there, number 23 in blue.
So the sequence working out for Kentucky, even though it was Tennessee that had the man-up advantage.
Something towards the hoop has to start here.
Vescovi, ball fake. Springer, pull up on a fade. That's well short.
One of the things that Springer and Johnson have good mid-range games, so they just look out of sorts, though.
Brooks, the hop step, he's fouled. Kentucky doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, Jackson gets up, but well defended just then by Tennessee, and struggling down the other end. That would have been a dunk, but he just lays it in.
Kentucky has built an 8-point lead here in the first half. Time right now for the next greatest generation. It's now, and it's presented by Army National Guard. John Fulkerson, graduate senior for Tennessee, pursuing his master's degree in agricultural leadership, education, and communication. Fulkerson named as one of 30 candidates, along with teammate Eve Pons, for the Senior Class Award. He graduated last May with a degree in recreation and sport management. It's been cool to watch him improve each season. A lefty, active big man, post skills, the incredible Fulk, as he's been called.
Very nice. Yeah, first 3 years or so, he didn't get that much playing time, but has really evolved and stayed with it with his patience.
Fast break points. Kentucky 10-0 so far, and the Wildcats control it.
Whoa!
Big finish! Skying to the rim. Jacob Toppin off the inbounds.
They really have taken Tennessee out of their game early on so far at both ends of the floor here. Can't get anything going offensively, and Kentucky just getting their shots whenever they want them at their end of the floor. Another good play here defensively by Brooks.
He steps in for the steal. Brooks has an isolation. Toppin in and out.
You knew that was going up, though, after that dunk, right? He's just confidence all over this Kentucky team.
It is a 10-point Kentucky lead. We approach the midway point of this first half thanks to a 12-0 run. Springer feeds the post. Pons trying to stop the bleeding, cannot. Rebounded by Sarr. Those two go back to their high school days in France. Tennessee has missed on its last 6 shots. Askew gets Kentucky organized. It's Brooks. Kick. Mintz. Oh, that's a high percentage shot for him. Another 3-ball.
And I know 10 minutes isn't really a true indicator, but John Calipari's team, after 2 close wins this past week, and now coming in here for 10 minutes of action, they look like a totally different team than they did only 4 or 5 games prior to that.
It is a 15-0 run, and Tennessee has had no answers. Vescovi lines it up. One and done for the Vols.
And I know Kentucky blocks a lot of shots, but Tennessee just has not even tried to go inside yet. Put the ball on the floor and drive it. Get to the free throw line. No free throws as of yet in 10 minutes.
Open look, Brooks. Rebounded by Fulkerson.
Even their transition game, you notice the balance that we're seeing with the blue shirts, filling the middle of the floor and finding shooters at the same time.
Who's going to step forward here offensively for Tennessee? Bailey is not normally shy when it comes to hoisting jump shots. Off the double team. Pons, a 3.
Pretty drag there by Bailey. He forced 2 guys to stay with him. And nice work by Pons just to fill a void just then and shoot the basketball.
Shooting it at 27% from downtown.
He played well last year against Kentucky, averaging 12 points a game in the 2 games that he played against them.
Jacob Toppin gives it up. Mintz directing traffic, 7 to shoot. Out front for Sarr. Shot clock is winding down.
There's the help. See that help defense? 2 guys helping out.
And the leak out. Bailey accelerates. Layup doesn't go, but a foul. Askew got back defensively. That is the first defensive foul committed by Kentucky here this afternoon at the 8:38 mark, first half.
Cal wondering about the push, but this is a good foul because he doesn't give up the layup. Askew off the left elbow.
So a couple of free throws here for Victor Bailey Jr., transfer from Oregon, shooting it at 82% at the line. John Calipari talked to us about the consistency that he's seen last couple of games. Now everybody's playing for their teammate, not for themselves. That's the way he's categorized it. And he said, if you step forward and play well, you're going to get more minutes, and that's just the way things have developed. Some minutes have been affected. Lance Ware not playing as much. Dante Allen not seeing as many minutes.
Yeah, and the other side of that too, Ian, is the fact that he's told his guys, when you're open, shoot the ball. If you're not shooting it after we've worked for an open shot, then I'm going to yank you and put you on the bench. If you miss the shot, so be it if it's a good shot. And these guys have kind of learned that. It's showing here this afternoon. There's a comfort level. There's an ease about their offense against a very good Tennessee defensive team, by the way.
23-14 Kentucky. Oh, he is locked in. Davion Mintz from downtown.
Yeah, and he's sweeping around the baseline there to come out to the right side as a right-handed shooter. It's not that easy to plant your inside foot and get that shot off. But once again, look at the outside play here by Tennessee. Are they going to test it underneath, challenge Kentucky? So far, it's not happening right now.
Smothering defense so far for Kentucky. Johnson, no. Rebound, out of bounds. Good sign for Kentucky. Isaiah Jackson is back in. Mintz is 4 of 4. All of them from beyond the arc. And the Wildcats with the upper hand here in the first half. Game summary, great start for Kentucky with a 26-14 lead. 10 fast break points, and they have been lights out from downtown.
Yeah, and Mintz has really shown his stuff from long range. When you think about the first game 2 weeks ago, he was 1 for 8 from the floor for 4 points. He is now 4 for 4, shooting the ball with comfort and ease. Good lift, good follow through. And if you watch shooters, you can just tell with his body language, Ian, that there's a fluidity to it. He's confident. He's going up, coming down in the same spot. Just everything looks perfect with that jumper.
Highly experienced. He played 97 career games at Creighton. He's in a 2-year graduate program.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He could be back next year for Kentucky.
I think after the first 10 or 11 minutes, I'd take him back in a heartbeat.
Kentucky this year has not fared well against ranked teams. 0-5. Rising up, jump shot is pure. Isaiah Jackson.
And the other thing about Kentucky, when I watched them about 3 weeks ago, they looked like they were hunting shots. Now they all look like the game is just flowing to them. They're not in a hurry to take a shot.
Jumper doesn't go for Keon Johnson. Kentucky clears the rebound.
And it's pretty clear that Kentucky's going to outshoot them from the perimeter right now.
Boston the pull-up. Wow. Everything is cooking right now for Kentucky.
Right, this is the time Tennessee better make an adjustment and start going to the basket. Beat somebody off the dribble.
The Wildcats are shooting 63%. Tennessee has shown no signs of stopping them, even with their standout defense, which has been the best in the SEC.
And now they're flattening out this defense, forcing you to go over the top.
Johnson on the crossover and pull-up. Quick jack doesn't go for Boston. Rebound knocked around, controlled by Mintz.
Yeah, good hands by Jackson just to keep that alive a little bit as Cal calls it play right now.
Freshman point guard Devin Askew, the penetration and kick. Jackson loses it. And a 3-on-3 developing. Kentucky getting back defensively to deal with Johnson. Bailey steps into it and put it on the board. It's a 3.
See, there's Tennessee's offense in a nutshell right there. Get the defense working, make things happen, come down the floor. In the old days, you might go 3-on-2 and looking for layups. They'll spread the floor and look for threes. It's going to chop back into this lead a little bit, make it more manageable at 11.
30-19 Kentucky.
Yeah, this is where they need another stop, Tennessee, to just slow Kentucky's confidence down more than anything.
6 to shoot. Askew. Sarr, ball fake, blocked by his buddy Pons. A French rejection.
You notice what Cal's doing. He's saying, you got the ball fake working, go by him. But watch what happens. Pons goes up, and he still blocks the shot on the way down. Fabulous hands by Pons here. Watch this. He reaches. I don't see any touch on the elbow. He's clear on the right side. And a shot clock violation to boot.
Last 5 games, Tennessee is averaging 82.3 points per game, shooting it at 47%. Offense hasn't come easy to the Volunteers so far today. 5:25 to go first half. Bailey, the drive and dish. Ball movement leads to Johnson, 6 to shoot.
Got to go in a hurry.
Fulkerson, too strong.
Well, they had some opportunity down low, and Fulkerson caught that ball. Tipped by Johnson. Going to stay that way.
So this is going back 2016 French under-17 team, Sarr and Pons, INSEP Academy, same program that produced Tony Parker and Boris Diaw and Rony Turioff. So a lot of big-time players have come through that system. They've maintained that friendship. Sarr transferred from Wake Forest, and now these two guys get to go head-to-head in the same conference.
Yeah, fun matchup.
Here's Mintz on the outside, had a notion.
Yeah, forcing him left a little bit.
Toppin gives it up. Askew splits defenders, dishes, Jackson flails and fouled. So a couple of free throws here. Over 20 million people watched Queen Latifah in the premiere of the CBS original series, The Equalizer. Watch a new episode tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, or stream anytime on CBS.
That's a look that Kentucky just showed to Tennessee that I think Tennessee has to reverse on them at the offensive end. You notice that good, strong drive to the basket just then. That opens up an opportunity underneath the basket by Askew. So a great play to get Jackson to the line.
Kamwa will check back in for Tennessee. And the story on Josiah Jordan James, he had been playing with that wrist injury. Finally sat out the last game. He was listed as questionable for this one, downgraded to doubtful, and then after opening warm-ups, it was determined he would not be able to go.
Yeah, important guy at the offensive end where he gets 9 points a game, but he's also their leading rebounder and leader in steals, Ian, so it's more of a complete player that they're missing.
And a vocal leader, yeah, as well.
Which you could use right now in games like this.
32-19 Kentucky.
They like to post up the guards. Here's an opportunity. Johnson, whoa, stripped again.
Jacob Toppin with a steal. Toppin those long strides. Floated up, layup goes, and it's Boston on the other end. Timeout call. Kentucky in transition. The Wildcats have had a clear game plan.
So here's that lob, and upstairs, good finish. And that's the transition offense. The Kentucky up a bunch.
Tonight, 7:30 Eastern, CBS Sports Network. College basketball continues. Mountain West matchup. San Diego State battles Fresno State on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Well, the Tennessee defense, that has been Rick Barnes' calling card this season. First in the SEC in points allowed per game. First in opponent field goal percentage. Third in three-point percentage. But it's been flipped here, Jimmy. It's the Kentucky defense that has done the job. They've held Tennessee to 30% shooting and just 4 points in the paint.
Yeah, and to tag these numbers with Tennessee also, that first game they played, Rick Barnes' team shut down Kentucky for the entire game and holding them to 39% shooting. Well, right now Kentucky is shooting at a 59% clip. So a tale of two different games in 2 different weeks.
34-19, squeezing through. Nice feed to Kamwa as Springer sets it up.
Yeah, that's exactly what Rick Barnes was probably talking about during that timeout. Get something going to the middle of the floor, squeeze them a little bit, force them to play defense, challenge them a little bit with the basketball.
So half-court set here for Kentucky, leading by 13.
Yeah, the half-court sets were the key for Rick Barnes' defense, making sure his guys take on the challenge. They'll shoulder down, it's going to go the other way.
It is Keon Brooks picking up the offensive foul.
So if you find a way to work yourself in, watch what happens. You have guys who are trying to defend the initial thrust of the ball coming through, so they're not in position to react quick enough to help with the handoff for the layup. So let's see if they continue with that adjustment a little bit. It's okay to shoot the 3-ball if you're Tennessee, but you want to make sure you're challenging off the dribble and forcing the action.
Jimmy, this is a Kentucky team that lost 7 of 8 games from January 12th to February 9th. Back-to-back wins for Kentucky, including last weekend over Auburn. Springer swatted out of there by Jackson.
Jackson keeps an eye on everything when you go through the lane on him.
Second block for Isaiah Jackson.
Leading shot blocker in the SEC, 12th in the country.
Jackson makes his move and he's fouled.
And watch this play defensively on the block shot, but watch what happens right after it, because he gets the ball back. So here's the shot block. Now he gets it again, and what does he think? Oh, no, I'm not going there again. He just embarrassed me and blocked that shot. I'm not going to do it again. And generally right there, defensive players are out of position, and it's a terrific time to react and go right back towards the rim. He didn't want any part of it. Second foul on Kamwa. I don't think it's coincidence that Kentucky's level of play has gone up as Isaiah Jackson's level of play has gone up. He has played a direct role in Kentucky's improvement, because that's somebody that you now have to deal with on both ends of the floor. Absolutely. It gives him a force. We've seen him shoot from the outside a little bit, but also stepping down low. You know, he'll hit his free throws too, around 70% or so, but still a big guy who can shoot like that gives them a good option. And that's what Rick Barnes needs to do. He needs to blend some inside-outside play here. Fulkerson, ball fake, takes it in on Jackson. Double team comes, fade away, no. Yeah, just the fact that Jackson forces that shot away is another indicator of his defensive prowess in terms of being able to block a shot. Even Fulkerson at 6'9" didn't go after him. Get into a set here with Brooks. Boston a little outside his range. Jackson gets a touch. Jackson one-on-one, baseline. Oh, the crank! Isaiah Jackson Skywalker. My goodness, along the baseline. You think you have him sealed in, but not for too long. We have seen some top-level highlights from Kentucky. Bailey answers with a tray. Well, and if not for Bailey, they would be in trouble. They are in a little bit of trouble right now still. 38-24, Kentucky. Kick. One dribble to the middle. Boston in and out on a three ball. Yeah, but they get the good look. That's a shot that Calipari will take. And if you don't take that when you come into the bench. Bailey comes to the ball, defended by Askew. Vescovi. Wow. Knocked out of there by Jackson. Boston has the angle, takes it in for the flush. How about Jackson setting that screen a little bit close to a moving screen, but he got to a position where the defender could not come back and help out on the shot block. Jim, 15 fast break points for Kentucky. Fulkerson plants himself in the lane, but can't finish. Good knock away. Bailey, the steal, hangs and hits for two. Good work there by Bailey, cheating a little bit, leaning towards his basket rather than going back on defense. But Fullerton looks a little confused, trying to score down deep. They look like they're looking for defenders rather than the hoop. Bailey has 12 points in 14 minutes for Tennessee. Watch out. Jackson lunging left hand, no. Yeah. Fulkerson tried to steal, but once he lost that ball, I thought Jackson had an easy layup going to the basket. Good recovery by Tennessee defensively. Now they're going to ride Bailey here. Bailey lost his footing, and that's going to be a travel. I'm not sure about that call. Looks like he released the ball before he went down. Here it comes. Boy, that's the difference. Notice where he dunks. He recognizes that he can't score on the right side of the basket, so he steps further. And look at Jackson, a block there, and Boston finishes with the dunk. Nice blocking move by Jackson to create some space going towards the basket. And Kentucky just continues to shine at the offensive end of the floor. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Adam Clark, Seth. I'll break down this first half for you. Highlights from the early action, including a pair of top 10 teams. That's all coming up. AT&T at the half. Largest lead for Kentucky has been 17. Wildcats were on a 15-0 run to grab that lead. Jackson and Mintz combining for 25 points. Tennessee has just 26, 12 from Victor Bailey Jr. Yeah, remember, Kentucky was up 10 points in the first time they met, but then Tennessee in the second half put together a bunch of runs to win the game and get back in it. Mintz, he is lethal. Oh boy. Davion Mintz. Lob it ahead, Johnson couldn't do it all in one motion. And a foul called. Oh, it's a nice catch and no shot by Johnson, catching that ball in traffic. Cal looking for a good deflection there in the shot block attempt. But you touched on it, Ian, with Mintz shooting the basketball. It's just like lights out for him in terms of being able to stroke it.
15 points for Davion Mintz. Keon Johnson at the free throw line. It's been a quiet first half for the talented freshman from Shelbyville, Tennessee. When we asked Calipari about the first meeting between these two teams, he said Keon Johnson and Jaden Springer of Tennessee clearly wanted to send a message about being the two top freshmen around these parts. And the message was loud and clear, and he challenged his freshmen. You're going to have to meet the opportunity here today.
Yeah, because the Tennessee freshmen combined for 50 points in the first game, and so they've reacted well, Kentucky, to challenge these guys.
Askew hangs, and he banks it in.
Nice little drift to the basket just then with Askew holding on to the ball. The last thing to show was the ball on that move, because if you show it too quickly, it's going to get deflected or blocked.
45-28 Kentucky.
Look at the help. Nice help by Kentucky.
Muscovy drives, scoops it in. 2 seconds. 1 second. Askew, three-quarter court. Whoa. Short.
Online, but short.
We hit the break here in Knoxville. Kentucky with a 45-30 lead in SEC action over Tennessee. End of the first half. We'll send you to Adam Zucker in New York for AT&T at the half, right after these messages. Let's get the second half underway here in Knoxville. 45-30, Kentucky in front. Ian Eagle, Jim Spanarkel. Let me just say this, Jimmy. I feel terrible the entire game. This guy right here, I've left him hanging the entire game.
You almost hit the guy walking by.
I know.
Then we would have had a problem on our hands.
Okay, Kentucky obviously has looked like a different team than the one we saw earlier this season. What's changed about them?
Well, I think confidence is one thing. John Calipari was talking about that to us this morning and said that his team is really confident in playing loose. I think they've attacked the paint very, very well, and even at both ends of the floor, I don't see a real weakness in the first half on the Kentucky team right now.
All right, let's take a look at the Progressive Insurance first half stats. What stands out for you?
I think the points in the paint again, because they were dominated really in the first matchup that these two teams had with the points in the paint, 44-30 by Tennessee, but that's obviously changed here today.
Kentucky with the basketball to start this second half. Mintz was on fire in the first half. That one for two. Rebound fought for. Sarr secures it. Puts it up. No, but a foul.
Fulkerson with the reach just then. Notice the difference there with getting Mintz on the move just a little bit different than stand out there and shoot the basketball. But watch underneath. A little battling there, and they continue to hit the offensive glass. 15 offensive boards by Kentucky against Vanderbilt their last time out, so that's a factor that you have to be concerned about when talking about physical play underneath.
Second foul on Fulkerson. Olivier Sarr averaging 10.5 points per game, and he adds to the Kentucky lead, now 17. For Sarr, first 2 points of the day. Bailey gives it up. Johnson forced to give it up.
It'll be interesting to see the first 2 or 3 sets. Where does Tennessee take the ball?
Bailey misses on the turnaround. Working around the perimeter, back into the hands of Askew. Jackson vacates the area. Sarr now occupies it. Roll to the rim. Sarr is fouled again.
So it's kind of a simple set. You come down the middle of the floor, and guys are just reaching. Johnson not sliding over quick enough. Good grab right across the floor. Both arms, actually.
So this Kentucky team came in last in the SEC in field goal percentage, 41.6%. They are shooting it at 59% from the field. They have not missed a free throw, 9 of 9. And they take their largest lead.
And if you think you're going to catch them at the end of the game by having them miss free throws, last game against Vanderbilt, they were 24 or 25 from the free throw line. So Tennessee better start shutting people down here and getting something on the offensive end.
Jaden Springer has not gotten his fingerprints on this game yet. Ball fake, kick. Johnson to 3.
Wow.
Way off.
Look at this lead out.
The loop ahead, too far for Boston. Turnover, Kentucky. So this has been a theme throughout the college basketball season, the struggles of Kentucky and then other blue bloods like Duke, North Carolina, Michigan State, Kansas. But Kentucky starting to make inroads, and you look at their talent, you say, well, I wouldn't want to face them.
Upstairs.
Oh, big finish. It's Keon Johnson.
And you know what's affected these teams, and we haven't mentioned it really, but the COVID-19 has really affected a lot of these teams in terms of their preparation. So some of the teams, and I think Kentucky's one of them, young guys trying to figure it all out are getting better and better as the season progresses.
Sarr's jump shot, too strong. Jackson missed it on the follow, and he's grabbing at his hand. Johnson looks for an opening, feeds it to Pons, and it gets the bounce.
Yeah, pretty catch and go. That's a good setup. Get somebody down the floor, get Pons in a hurry to get on the blocks and find them. Even though Kentucky had 3 guys back, a good entry pass and a good angle to deliver.
51-32 Wildcats. Askew, keep it on the perimeter. Entry, Jackson using the body, missed it, follow, can't get it to go. Sarr might have been partially blocked by Pons.
I think he was. Good hands by Pons and a good jump there, a quick release off the floor.
Johnson spin into a double team and a foul on Askew.
Just a little late on that spin. Askew was just a touch late getting to a spot where he could have stripped the ball off the floor. Rather, he reaches with his hands and causes contact. So here's the play. Now watch the spin. Spin down, and you see Askew's just a little light in terms of getting in position. He thinks he was there, but he wasn't. There was a little body action before the grab.
They bring in Keon Brooks Jr. to replace Sarr. Kentucky opens up the second half 0 of 5 from the field. They have gotten to the free throw line, and a steal there from B.J. Boston. Boston, the Euro, denied. Keon Johnson with a block.
Well defended initially, too. Holding his stance in terms of looking to pick up a charge, and then that little bit of a delay cost them with the block.
Wildcats get back defensively. Here's Bailey for Tennessee. Wraparound feed, Fulkerson the catch, bank in and out.
And Fulkerson just getting his shot off there just a little quick. I think he's still looking for a defender.
Fulkerson now there defensively against Brooks. The turnaround doesn't go. Rebound snatched. Jackson inside. He draws the foul.
Yeah, interesting enough with Jackson on the offensive glass, when he catches it, a lot of guys just go back up with it, but he's got some very good footwork to get himself in a much better position to go after the second chance.
We saw Jackson go down early in the game, and this just a couple of possessions ago. He was grabbing at his hand at the end of that play. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks. Tack on another point for Isaiah Jackson. Yeah, it was the left hand.
Yeah, look at holding onto the left. Maybe if that one, the right hand was his tip hand just then, maybe his right one got jammed into a body down low.
We have seen his offensive game expand as the season has progressed. And he shoots that free throw with confidence.
He sure does.
Looks better than the 70% shooter that he came in at. And they're just not missing at the free throw line. Jackson personally is 7 of 7.
Yeah, 11 of 11 for the team. 73% on the year for the team.
Over the zone, Vescovi, too strong. Rebound, Pons got a hand on it, and he touched it last, out of bounds.
Tennessee going to pick it up a little bit. I like this decision by Rick Barnes. Sometimes if you get some energy on the defensive end, pick your guys up a bit. It's even though it's token, maybe you get them back into this game from the defensive side.
Askew, Mintz, Jackson, Brooks, and Toppin the 5 on the floor. Brooks banks it in. Keon Brooks Jr., good body control.
Yeah, Fullerton had his back to him for a moment there, and he continued to finish it all off.
Brooks is a Swiss Army knife for this Kentucky team.
Nice
ball fake.
Watch out.
And Fulkerson got hit hard. Jackson making sure he's okay. And there will be free throws for the fifth-year senior.
Well, Brooks, who played well against Tennessee in the first one, finishing this one.
Kentucky with a 53-34 advantage over Tennessee. Let's check out our fast analysis presented by AT&T 5G.
Yeah, very comfortable team here, Kentucky, and Mintz shooting the ball from long range set a nice tempo and tone for Kentucky in the first half, going 5 for 5. And then watch Jackson, just a clean one-bounce dribble, squares his shoulders up well, gets a little separation. You see that smile on his face, Ian, going back? That shows you there's a lot of confidence in that body.
Jimmy, in the second half, Kentucky is 1 of 8 from the field, yet they've actually extended their lead.
Exactly.
They've outscored Tennessee 8-4 in the second half. Volunteers have not taken advantage of opportunities here. Fulkerson at the free throw line, where he shoots it at 77%. Tennessee was picked #1 in the SEC preseason media poll, and Kentucky was picked #2. But it's been Alabama that's run away with it in the SEC.
So they average 21 free throw attempts a game. Tennessee does, and they've only been to the line 6 times. Tells you a little bit about how Kentucky has taken them out of their sets.
4 SEC teams currently in the top 25: Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri, and Arkansas. They had 7 teams go to the NCAA tournament in 2019 out of the SEC. Mintz, spin, off the pirouette, short.
That's going to stay here.
Sarr got bodied.
Scobie.
So Jerry Palm, CBSSports.com, right now looking at a 2 seed for Alabama, 4 seed for Tennessee. There's Missouri, Florida, Arkansas, LSU, and he sees Ole Miss as being on the bubble. Kentucky not on that list. Wildcats trying to rip off wins here at the end of the season, leading into the conference tournament. Back in, Brooks.
Good work defensively again.
He got swallowed up by Pons, but a foul called on the second opportunity.
Yeah, so the fans who are up high are looking at this play and they're saying to themselves, he never touched them up high, but after the block, watch what he does with his body. So here's the good block, gets away with the arms coming down, but watch that little body bump before the shot, before him going into it, they get him down low.
Keon Brooks Jr. keeps the streak alive for Kentucky at the free throw line. You know, Rick Barnes, when we asked him about the last game against South Carolina, he said, I just loved our blend, the balance, the defense and offense, right. Everybody contributing. That's when Tennessee is playing its best basketball.
Yeah, and I would say just, you know, in the first half, they just didn't look like they had many reps together. They just looked out of sorts.
Kamwa, keep it on the perimeter for Bailey.
Yeah, look at the middle of the floor there, too, the way that ball goes in there, and there's big bodies just waiting for you again.
Foul called defensively. Toppin feels he was straight up and down going against Keon Johnson.
But watch defensively here with Kentucky. They're doing what Tennessee does so well. You see the blue jerseys in there? There's a wall that says, if you're going to come in 12 feet and under, you better start looking for us, because we're going to body you up, play physical basketball, hope for a deflection down low, if not get the block up high.
When they started recruiting Keon Johnson, Rick Barnes asked him, where do you see yourself as a player at the collegiate level? He said, Coach, I'm a power forward. That's how I see myself. He said, okay. That's not how we see you necessarily. No. They see him as a guard.
Yep,
but Johnson does like his post-up ability and is comfortable getting inside and using his strength.
Yeah, and that's part of the offense for them, with Springer also posting them up down deep, but they haven't really had many opportunities this afternoon. 54-38,
Tennessee trying to chip away against Kentucky. Still plenty of time here.
Yeah, Tennessee has to think about the 10-minute mark and get this thing down to about 10 points if they can.
Toppin rises up. Rebound. Good effort there by Sarr, but it's controlled by Tennessee and Johnson.
So important for a good shot right now.
Johnson weaving through. Missed it on the scoop to the hoop.
But you'll take that driving shot.
5-on-4. Boston. Open look. No.
Wow, bodies are flying.
Off the ricochet. Brooks lays it in.
Just hanging around the glass. That's because you know where your shots are coming from. When you have offensive sets and you can anticipate when the shot is going to come, it makes rebounding the ball in the offensive glass a little bit easier.
One dribble, Johnson on a kick.
See that close there by Sarr, though? The wall again.
Kentucky defense has been suffocating. 8 to shoot. Johnson, the jumper. Doesn't go. Rebound snatched by Brooks.
This defense is designed to force you to shoot from the outside until you can prove that you're going to make shots, and they're not making them, so Kentucky is playing that wall defense right across the front.
Short pop. Doesn't go for Brooks. Rebounding numbers 29-19 in favor of Kentucky. Neither team has shot it well in the second half, but Kentucky has the big lead here in Knoxville. Trying to get the ball to Vescovi.
They're still not really getting into their offense yet. It's down to 8 seconds on the shot clock.
Bailey looking to make it happen with a jumper off the rim. Long rebound to Boston.
You can get that anytime in the shot clock. You don't want to work it down to 8-7 seconds on the shot clock and take that kind of hit.
No rush here for Kentucky. 12:22 remaining in regulation.
Yeah, they're looking for Sarr for a little action there. He's got a nice turnaround jumper.
Sarr goes with a left hand, a feathery touch off the window.
Pretty good design, nice and patient.
And it's their largest cushion of the day, 20 points. Tennessee has missed its last 5 shots. Bailey on a cross. Foul called. Kentucky leads the nation in blocks per game, and Keon Brooks thought he got that one clean. The frustration for Tennessee. They just have not been able to find their footing this afternoon in Rocky Top. 58-38, Kentucky in control, but let's not forget what happened 2 weeks ago. Kentucky had the lead over Tennessee, and then the Volunteers just flipped the switch.
Yeah, look at those turnovers for Kentucky in the second half, 11. To this point in this game, they've only had 8. So if they can stay under their average or thereabouts, which is about 15 per game, they should be in good shape. And on the other side defensively, remember, Kentucky, we asked John Calipari, what's going to be the key for one of the keys for this afternoon's game? He said, if we can hold Tennessee to less than 10 3-point made shots, they should be in pretty good shape, and they've only hit 5 so far and have not looked comfortable shooting the ball.
Tennessee is 5 of 13 from downtown. Kentucky is 6 of 10. Victor Bailey Jr. at the free throw line.
Let's see if it's token full court or they throw a little trap. Here comes the trap. Yep. This is trying to get them to hurry it up just a little bit, because as you touched on a moment ago, Ian, they've been very patient in their half-court sets, Kentucky.
Kentucky is shooting just 20% in the second half, but the lead has grown. Toppin. Rebounded by Vescovi.
You hurry up, get down the floor, but make sure it's a good one. Look at the post-up Johnson, as we talked about a moment ago. Nothing there.
Vescovi on the shake and bake. Needs a bailout. It's Springer. Lines it up. High arcing jumper. Doesn't go. Rebound. It's Jackson.
Toppin's down too. He got smacked up the back of the head, I believe.
Yep. Jacob Toppin in pain on the floor. He was grabbing his head. Just trying to gather himself right now. And it was
head on knee.
Yep.
Head on knee. Yep. Fulkerson's right knee.
Toppin, the sophomore, combo forward from Ossining, New York. He has that beautiful head of hair. It just doesn't provide the padding you would think.
Yeah, it wasn't the cushion.
No.
You would think it would have absorbed some of it, but no.
Toppin's okay.
Yep, looks fine. Yeah, let's see if he goes to work here offensively. Watch the turnaround jumper.
Back in, little shove, and he draws the foul.
Yep, good smart
on Keon Johnson.
The turnaround jumper, he starts into it, Ian. It's not there. He recognizes the defender kind of slid up on him a little to take the shot away. And what does he do? He takes his time to go make a better play. Now watch, he's going to spin here, and then he's going to stop. He sees it's not there, then he body bumps just a touch, and he keeps going with his shoulders towards the basket. Good way to get to the free throw line.
You know, his brother Obi, who is a rookie with the New York Knicks and was a star at Dayton, he was a late bloomer. And Jacob Toppin, a late bloomer as well. Oh, that's a nice shot.
That's a great shot.
And that's a little more recent when they played against one another in the Atlantic 10. Rhode Island and Dayton. Toppin looks good at that free throw line, shooting it at 78%.
I'd say all the Kentucky players look good right now, 13 for 14.
Springer for two.
There you go, in the middle of the paint.
It's really the first time that he has looked like the guy we've seen throughout the season on the offensive end today.
Exactly. It's just been a shutdown totally. Well, let's see if Tennessee, like they did in the first game, builds some confidence in the second half. So find a way to come through the middle and recognize that guys see where Jackson was back here. Watch where Jackson is defensively. So he's back 3 feet. So he knows that he pulls up just a little bit and get that mid-range shot going, which Springer and Johnson are both very good at.
McDonald's All-American finally getting on the board.
Last 4 games, Ian, he's been averaging 22.5 points per game, too.
Cross. Askew.
Good stop, nothing there.
Off the double team, Jackson is fouled. And the 3,000 plus Tennessee fans in attendance disagreeing with the call on the floor.
Yeah, watch Johnson. Johnson's going to come over. I think that's ball right there. And you can generally tell by the body language, well, this is maybe overdoing it a little bit, but I like the enthusiasm when guys are playing. Even when a call goes against him, he's not doing anything to embarrass the official just then, but he's showing some energy that he cares about the play and thought he had a good strip. So I'm okay with that energy and enthusiasm.
First miss at the line for Isaiah Jackson, now 7 of 8. Thompson Bowling Arena, they allow 18% of capacity to be a part of these Tennessee home games. And even when you ask John Calipari about playing here, Cal acknowledged, look, it's not the same. There are some fans, but you're not feeling the same kind of angst that you might feel when you've got 20,000 on top of you.
Yeah, and same can be said for when guys are coming into Rupp Arena to play.
Sure.
Same advantage.
Same deal.
Yep. Everybody's had to deal with it. A very difficult season in a lot of different ways, but it's great to see college basketball continuing to strive.
61-42 Kentucky.
Watch the spin move.
Springer, fade, off. Rebounded by Mintz. Initially looked like he was going to blast it up the floor as we hit the halfway point of this second half.
They don't really need to be in a hurry with the way they've been playing their half-court sets, because Tennessee has had some trouble shutting them down in the half-court sets.
Fade away. Off the rim from Mintz. Toppin got his hands on it, controlled by Vescovi.
Good work on the defensive glass, too, by Johnson, blocking out Toppin. Toppin, excuse me.
Foul called. Jackson using the body on Fulkerson. Fast break points have not been a factor in this second half. In fact, we haven't seen any points in transition. That's the 3rd foul on Isaiah Jackson. Toppin and Jackson will sit for Kentucky.
Smart to get Jackson out, in particular with those 3 fouls too, Ian. You just don't want to see a guy come back with another quick one in another minute or so, and it throws him off and the rhythm off.
Sarr and Brooks back in. Fulkerson
trying to get to the middle of the lane with his left.
Bounces around and off the mark.
Yeah, Johnson had to stay away from that too. He was up over the rim, but recognized that his second bounced and had to leave it alone. Had a chance if it came off front.
Off the acceleration, Askew needs some help. Sarr catches in traffic, 12 to shoot. Brooks trying to take advantage. Floater, no. Rebound, out of bounds, off of Kentucky.
Sarr with very good position.
The last time these two teams played, Kentucky could not stop Jaden Springer and Keon Johnson. Combined 50 points. This afternoon, combined 13 points, 11 from Johnson.
And the 15 free throws reduced to just 4, which tells you that they've taken them pretty much out of their games.
Kentucky is down to 17% shooting in the second half. But they still have the sizable lead. Bailey gives it up. Askew drive, kick. Johnson a 3. Off.
Oh, there's the Kentucky defense in a nutshell. Playing the drives, let them kick it out, see if Tennessee can shoot their way in from the outside where they're only 5 of 15.
Clear the area for Sarr. Back in. Sarr. Tapped it over his teammate, creating space. And it's Brooks who couldn't finish it. Foul called. It's Brooks after the play, picking up the personal inside. So that's personal foul number 4, team foul number 5. And with 8:23 to go in this second half, at some point, Tennessee would have to make a move because Kentucky has kept them at arm's length.
And not only that, they've controlled the entire tempo here in the second half, even without shooting the ball real well.
Springer to Johnson, extra feed, Pons, the slammer.
Well, there's a good start if you're a Tennessee fan to get something going.
And a foul called along the sideline against Tennessee.
But they also get the good action because it goes to the middle of the floor again, driving the Kentucky players away from the glass, allowing Pons to just catch and go. Uh, 18 fouls on Tennessee, 6 on Kentucky.
And it's going to send an 80% free throw shooter, B.J. Boston, to the free throw line for 1-and-1. Rebound to Pons. Askew matched up with Toppin.
Will they get a run? They need like a 7-2 run or just something to get the momentum back, because they have not been able to get momentum in this game.
Johnson gets the roll. He strokes it over Askew. 61-46. Kentucky with the lead. We're down to 7:22 to play.
Big possession here for Kentucky to just continue to get some good shots off their sets.
Mintz off the rim.
Nice work coming back into the fray to get that defensive rebound. Nice pass. Oh, baby.
To 9 on the inside. Johnson kicks it out.
And Sarr again defensively.
Bailey, big one off the rim. Rebounded by Johnson.
Well, Johnson gets off the floor in a hurry, doesn't he?
He is springy. We might have an issue here.
Cal out of the coach's box maybe over there.
John Calipari extended all the way out. And we get a stoppage at the 6:53 mark of this second half. Tennessee trying to rally. It's been all Kentucky throughout the day. Tennessee trying to make a move here in the second half. And new Thursday, Agent Clarice Starling is back, ready to dive into the minds of monsters and madmen. The silence is over, but her story is only beginning. A new Clarice, Thursday at 10, 9 Central, or stream anytime on CBS. Yeah, John Calipari extended beyond the coach's box. He was given a warning before that timeout. And with 6:53 left in regulation, Tennessee will have it on the side with 14 to shoot.
I would think you'd get Pons involved out down low if you can with a little action. Screen and go. Here he is on the screen out front. He slides outside, though, and doesn't go deep.
Timer down to 5. Penetration by Springer. Gives it up. Shot clock winding down. Pons has to hoist. Off the rim, no good, and rebounded by Toppin.
And once again, Kentucky deliberate on the way up the floor. Not eager to take a quick set. Key becomes, though, whether you can effectively and efficiently deliver in a slow-down game.
Jackson, pull up. No good. Askew, the rebound. 15-point lead for Kentucky. And a foul called on the interior. Jackson dealing with Fulkerson. That is the 4th foul on Isaiah Jackson. This Kentucky team has played a bunch of close games. See what they've done in the second half. 3 of 22, just trying to get to the finish line. They have 6 losses by 5 points or fewer for a team that's 7-13, 6-7 in conference play.
Yeah, prior to the last 2 games that they won, close games, it was a real mess coming down the stretch with turnovers constantly for them.
Empty possession for Tennessee as Fulkerson, a 77% free throw shooter, misses at the line, front end of a 1-and-1. 12 rebounds for Keon Brooks Jr. That's a new career high for him. Mintz directing traffic, 8 to shoot. And a discard. Foul is called as we had Askew matched up with Sarr. So it works against Askew of Tennessee.
Yeah, a little bit of a hold there and a body bump. We knew this game was going to be physical. I would anticipate the last 5 and change is going to be just that.
Olivier Sarr at the free throw line. Now 5 of 5 at the stripe. He's got a nice touch. Really was a finesse player when he got to Wake Forest. When you're 7 foot 237, you're going to be asked to do some more physical things on the inside as well, averaging a block per game. Back in is Devin Askew for Kentucky.
Yeah, and it's a luxury having a big guy who can shoot a free throw like that too, especially down, you know, the last 2 or 3 minutes of a game when you need a possession.
Around the horn for Springer. He lines it up. Just can't find his range today. Springer is 1 of 8 from the field. Tennessee is 5 of 18 from three-point territory.
And keep in mind, Springer's a 51% from the field shooter too. And has been shooting the 3-ball very well.
Askew the quick move.
He's out of bounds, so it's going to go Tennessee way.
5:07 to go. John Calipari. You know, just extend a little bit and make sure your body's comfortable.
Cross the legs, it would have been better there just to really relax.
Only the 2nd Kentucky turnover of the second half.
So just haven't been any post-up opportunities for Johnson, nor have there been any driving lanes against Kentucky.
Askew can't hit the 3. Rebound. Springer got his hands on it and controls it. Pons the ball fake. Kick. Springer gets it back. Straight away, Jay. Wow. Off the mark. And Toppin can really get upstairs.
And the long possessions at the offensive end for Tennessee just to start. It really starts to work against them also, as are these slow down sets by Kentucky, taking a lot of time off the clock as we near 4 minutes.
Taking the air out of the ball. Askew, feed the post. Sarr. Askew, the jumper. Got a 3.
Well, hasn't taken many shots this afternoon, but that is a huge one right there. And John Calipari talked about Dagger's eye, and he said daggers can come from the free throw line also.
Sure.
But that's a big time shot just then. Inside out look.
Askew yet to miss. He's 3 of 3 from the field. Kentucky has matched its largest lead with 3:49 to play in this second half, and it's been surgical.
So you set up your big, right? And then you come back to a spot when your guy vacates, and look at the follow through. Big time shot by Askew.
And now the Capital One rewarding performance.
Yeah, you take a look at Jackson showing us his mid-range shot. Now watch this. He baits Fulkerson to come out, and then he just finishes him off along the baseline. Great effort, 16 points, 7 rebounds, hitting his free throws.
You know, part of the issue for Kentucky this season, in 9 of their 13 losses, they've had a lead in the second half. So finishing was certainly a big part of the problem for John Calipari's squad, and now things starting to change. What we saw last week against Auburn, got it done on the road at Vanderbilt. This would be a huge win for Kentucky if they can get to the finish line against Tennessee here this afternoon.
Yeah, and I think they're, you know, you think about it, the 2 games this week they won that were close, and now they come out and they make a statement in the first half. Does this have a carryover effect for them over the next 1, 2, or 3 games that they have coming their way?
Keon Johnson. 66-48.
So now you start to scramble defensively. If you have something other than man-to-man, kind of like traps, you go to anything you can.
Get it in for Toppin.
There's one trap. Good work.
Ooh, and out of bounds. Johnson took it away, but could not control it while he was still inbounds. And Kentucky will retain it.
Yeah, and a good effort from behind, too. They got him right where he wanted. And it looks like it just slid down off Johnson that trip.
Toppin sits. It is Mintz, Brooks, Sarr, Askew, and Boston for Kentucky. High screen, Sarr. Now the roll. They leave him free, and he takes advantage with a French floater.
Yeah, as Askew is really running good traffic out front, too, with only 1 turnover this afternoon. Just methodically picking Tennessee apart.
Foul called. Sarr defending Pons.
So watch the setup. Here you have Askew just making things happen. He's going to just deliver the goods. Nothing fancy, just gets the basic one. There was a foul from behind there that went undetected. And a little turnaround for the floater, and pretty good Kentucky half-court offense.
Pons sticks it at the free throw line. Tennessee is 12 of 14 at the stripe. Coming up for Tennessee, they will be at Vanderbilt, at Auburn. SEC tournament is scheduled between March 10th and March 14th. They've had a lane violation there. We did. Keon Johnson a little early. 68-49.
Remember, this is a very good, lately very good free throw shooting team. If you have to start fouling Kentucky, got to get it across in a hurry. They do.
Now Askew just trying to hold on to it. John Calipari may have called the timeout, and he did.
Took him a second to get the attention of the officials just then, but successful nonetheless.
3:10 to play. Calipari sensing trouble. He got it, maybe not at the time he wanted.
Little angst.
A look at the Jersey Mike subs. Game summary. Kentucky, yeah, the 42%. You're going to look at the box score and say, wow, they just didn't shoot it very well. They were exceptional in the first half. Second half shooting has been subpar.
Yeah, and at both ends of the floor, they've just been there defensively in particular, surrounding any type of shot down low. Nothing happening for Tennessee on the offensive glass from 7 or 8 feet or in, and everything working for Brooks and company to finish them off down low.
And you look at the big picture, Jimmy. Kentucky is 6-7 in the conference. We were wondering if at some point the Wildcats would find a rhythm this season and start living up to the talent on the roster. We're seeing it. This would be win number 3 in a row for Kentucky. heading into the conference tournament. Askew an air ball, last touch by Sarr, out of bounds.
And I remember too that Tennessee over the last 4 games or so has been averaging 82 points a game.
Yep.
And they're just cracking, you know, the 49 mark, just hitting 50 right now with 2 and change to go, 2:40 to go or so. Remarkable defensive effort. Wow.
Turnaround, Johnson. A little too much on it. The magic number for Kentucky this season has been 71 points. They are 0-12 when scoring 71 points or fewer. They are 7-1 when they score more than 71 points.
Looking for more double teams. Tennessee, that's opening lanes.
Boston rejected by Pons. Coming up next, PGA Tour continues their West Coast swing. Beautiful Riviera Country Club. There's a wind delay in Los Angeles. They should be playing a little after 3 o'clock. Third round coverage of the Genesis Invitational. That's coming up right after hoops here on CBS. 3-ball doesn't go for Boston. Another rebound there for Keon Brooks Jr. Askew calls out a play. 10 to shoot. Under 2 minutes left in regulation. Askew had it knocked away. Sarr recovers. Brooks with the jam.
Beautiful look by Sarr too, and then still getting it to the middle of the floor. And if you wonder with Kentucky, they've only shot 6 of 28 from the floor this half.
Johnson spills to the ground, and it is scooped up by Springer.
Tennessee is only 5 of 24. So even with a bad performance shooting-wise in the second half by Kentucky, they've clamped down on Tennessee for this entire game.
Mintz off the rim. Final minute and change here in Knoxville. Bailey on a spin. Foul is called on Askew, and free throws coming up for Victor Bailey Jr. Tennessee has 19 points in the second half. This is what's coming up for John Calipari and company. Texas A&M is on the schedule. Florida, Ole Miss. There was a report that they may try to get some out-of-conference games in, if possible, if the schedule permits and they can find some opponents as they get ready for the SEC tournament.
Yeah, so it's a workout those last 3 games, but boy, it's a better workout for you when you've won 3 in a row getting ready for them. I'm still looking at the Tennessee number at 49, Ian.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah, I mean, this free throw goes down for 50, but last 3 or 4 games, boy, they've been on a roll offensively, and Tennessee has been going up and down the floor, obviously, to play to that number.
Get it ahead.
Back court.
And turnover for Kentucky. Boston couldn't get himself situated. So here are the up to the minute standings in the SEC. Tennessee drops to 8-6. Kentucky now at 7-7, 8-13 overall.
They win 2 out of those 3 games. Puts them with 9 wins. That's not too shabby from where they started.
Jaden Springer gets to the hoop. Final 45 seconds. This border rivalry will be taken by Kentucky, splitting the season series with Tennessee. And a travel called out front. 35.7 to go.
2 different perspectives, too. The visitors winning each of those battles. And 2 very loud places on a normal year.
Corner jump. Nylon for Victor Bailey Jr. A 3 and a timeout. 28.1 on the clock. We'll come back with the finish from Knoxville after this. #232nd all-time meeting between Kentucky and Tennessee. And it's really been the Wildcats from the get-go. It was 10-8 Tennessee. Kentucky went on a 15-0 run, and they have not looked back. Askew gets it across. Boston trying to play keep away here. And the final 14 seconds, the only question will be if Tennessee fouls. Or if John Calipari calls a timeout.
Yep.
Back in a moment. Tennessee came in 12-2 at home, outscoring opponents by an average of 11.5 points per game. Obviously, those numbers are going to change here today. Final 8 seconds. Kentucky's defense held Tennessee to 32% shooting. And that's it. Here comes Kentucky towards the tail end of the season.
Yes, they are.
A 70-55 win over Tennessee. For Jim Spinarco, our entire CBS crew, Ian Eagle saying so long from Knoxville. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the 2021 Men's National Championship. We'll get you out to Jim Nantz and company in California, Genesis Invitational, right after these messages.